Well, I meant to film a little bit of what we've been doing, but we actually ran the canoe up and got to the point where we actually couldn't go anymore with the canoe. So now we're portaging downstream. The Teton River is notorious for slow areas every once in a while. Kind of annoys drift boaters because they have to get through it. So we're going through one, and I said, hey, we went to Rockhounding, but the fishing was dang good. So, hey, stay tuned. Let's see what the heck we got. And by the way, the oars aren't coming out of the back of my head. That's old G back there. There's old G. Anyway, today you're gonna have fun. The target is this big, I believe it's a banded obsidian that I found on the Teton River. Years ago, I was fishing, and you know what? Me and old G, that was our target. But we're not dumb. We brought fishing rods, and we had a wonderful time. So stay tuned. Thanks for subscribing. Hopefully, I'm just trying my best. But you know what? It was nice and refreshing. Beautiful country, water, shade. Me and old G. Oh, it was so refreshing versus being out into the Chalice Volcanics. So, are you ready for another day? Uh-oh. This looks more familiar to some of you rockhounds out there. It's a little foreign for the evolution, but not. We have our hunting styles. But today, old G, aka the incompetent rockhound, and I are at the Teton River. You know, a good nice splash of water from the creek up on top of there to give them a nice fresh look. And that works pretty good. It really does. I mean, I can clear that whole island with a couple of kicks. Kind of look around. I have found some pretty nice material up here. Basically doing what old G, aka incompetent, was doing. We were fishing. So, just like I say with the bass tournaments, as long as you remember where you've been, well, how about this? We'll find something that possibly people haven't really been looking at. I have seen quite a bit of material, but I had more rookie eyes than what I have of today. So let's see what we can put together. Ain't that right there, old G?
You aren't cheating, you're not trying.
You ain't cheating, you ain't trying, but well, I'll bet you money don't short stroke us. Well, I'll tell you what, it sure didn't take very long. We've come across a nodule and a piece of petrified wood. Right there is a piece of petrified wood. And this right here is actually, and here's a nodule. I said there's a lot of people that just really don't understand that if you get down below the volcanic ash layer, there actually is something that's quite neat. Now, is it going to be my favorite place to go? Probably not. But there is material. And if you look at the history of the Teton Dam disaster, well, one of the main reason why it failed is because it was volcanic tuff, ash, from the Huckleberry explosion of Yellowstone that formed leakage. And it took that pressure for that lake to be almost full before it really showed itself, and they were in serious trouble. Now that one kind of stands out, doesn't it? It's probably what we call just a chummer. But I can tell it is a little different. But not different enough. So this is so much nicer to do in the summertime than messing around with no shade, hiking the big mountains, This is something, my gosh almighty. I swear to gosh, I should have swimming trunks on doing this stuff.
Read.
Okay, this one here, you can see this window. Okay, and that's Jackie. If you hear a little barking in the background, she's getting rowdy over there. But anyway, this one right here, I was descending from Winston's nest. And there was a couple of little fractures, little hairlines. I did my best. I'm trying to get better and better at that. It's so important. If you can cut it, and you can maybe possibly avoid Mother Nature's wrath of fractures. But this one was a very surprise, and it's a one of a kind. So drum roll, please. Look at this. This has mint green materials coming down. Basically, you could call it a mossing, a pseudomorph, something, but you can see those mint green, and they are so detailed because the calcinium is so translucent, so they really look three-dimensional when you got it in hand. I love this one. This one is absolutely beautiful, and this has just been cut. You can see how nice still that those Covingtons, it's got a nice fortification right there that's sitting there kind of suspended, but again, there's no fractures. And I will pick up the other stone, and you can look, that's just a fortification line. That's not a fracture, but look how beautiful that is. Isn't that something? That's just, so I will be making another video and going through a step-by-step process on how to save time with these nodules to make them very collectible for people. And old G, he only had his one fish on, but he could see, there's a little bit of moss, but for the most part, it's showing what's there. As I said, there's a lot of less desirable materials, but well, I mean, that's how everything is. It ain't like that. It wouldn't be even worth being if it was just gravel. There's places that I would never go. I can list one because of my other activities. Sand Creek around St. Anthony, Idaho. It is, you want to talk about full of sediment. There is mud that you may find yourself like in quicksand, and everybody's wondering, why don't you ride anymore? I have been there. I have been all through there. When you live in an area all your life, there's a lot of places that you've been. And there was one individual that went up there, and I was like, all right. Well, his end result was all right. Now, Castor canadensis is kind of your best friend, just like open grazing is on public lands in the water system. Because every time, this is actually a beaver's feed bed. You can see the little sticks and little twigs and willers and stuff that he's been barking. Well, while he's barking, he's cleaning rocks. So he's just kind of polishing those mossy rocks up to where you can actually see pretty decent on that. So I'm kind of sitting there going, thank you, beaver. But we're just walking along, and we haven't found our target yet. Noel's still lashing away, but there's a lot of material, such as this one here, that has got a lot of calcite or calcinium and calcite. Instead, you can see this is kind of an aggregate. You can see it right there, but it's just not formed. I have found some nice nodules, but they're pretty rare. I didn't film it, but I did find a large piece of just a calcinium that had been tumbled down the river system. So that's one of the reasons why we like to go where we go, is they haven't been abused by Mother Nature as much as something that might be in front of me here. I've always kind of thought that you're only getting the hearts out of the material sometimes, because they just had to go through a lot of wear and tear. And some of that just, I understand how it appeals to some folks, but for myself, my personal taste, I really much rather find it from the source, as close as I can. A beautiful day. Now, one thing about this Teton River, if I spend a day messing around with it, I usually bump into a rattlesnake. It's notorious to the natives in this area that this is heavily populated by rattlesnakes. So if you come up in this area, be cautious, because like I said, that where the evolution of the Chalice Volcanics has been spending most of its time, I have never even seen a snake. I've seen it in the area, but I haven't for a long time. Very rare. Where this place is like, you don't step over shaded spots. You make noise and keep. So waders are the best. Like old G, he's got waders on. I'm just wading in some pants and enjoying the day. But just be cautious. I thought I had tone, but it's not. Oh, I seen that. Oh boy, does it! It has a similarity to it. A pretty garden rock with the kind of almost like it's like a oyster, a clam shell. That material right there. But she's pretty, but she's not the target. It's like, well, we just see the snake, but he's just a little water snake. I'll tell you though, always watch for the bzz. What it sounds like. It ain't like Medusa's tail. It's a bzz. It's a buzzing sound. Locust sound very similar until you see it. And this one reminds me a lot of the old G. Knowles beautiful one that he found near Winston's nest. And look at that pretty son of a gun. That's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. No fractures. I was trying to avoid those fractures, and I did a great job in doing it. And here's this. Now look at that floating fortification. Pretty tasty. Very similar. Nice. Until you see it for the first time and put the sound with the snake, it's actually a different sound than what you actually are expecting. Old G just found a couple of specimens. You can see that's a big ball of quartz. It's been tumbled down and through. There's maybe some calcinium quartz, but that's the thing. So it's like originally that nodule was a quartz bomb. We find quite a bit of this. This is a conglomerate. It's got agate. I've cut several of these pieces. Looks a little bit like a countertop, but it's an aggregate of some kind. But like I said, there is targets. There is diversity in this river. It's just not going to fall out of the sky. Most of the time when it's good stuff, it just doesn't fall out of the sky. Found a really nice old gravel bar. Rocks are really washed. So you can see some of the diversity that the Teton River does have to offer. Now I do believe this big one here is an obsidian of some kind. It's awful shiny, like I said, but I'm evolving, so it could not be, but it's very possible. But you can see some of the diversity. Very interesting. You can see how you're going along and you got all sorts of, oh, let me get that shadow out of the road. As you're going along, you can see all sorts of diversity. You see this almost looks like my tip of my shadow almost looks like concrete was there, and it's eroding. But there is diversity at the Teton River. There's another one of those very suspect possible obsidian of some kind. Then you have right here, you have a very nice hold ye. He's got him a lat. He's fishing. He's got something for the dinner. I'm hungry. Oh yeah. Is it a minnow? Oh, it's gonna eat. It's gonna eat, but I'll bet you money he's gonna follow the suit of the evolution and he's gonna catch and release it. Let's go like this. Oh my gosh, hold ye, don't release it. Oh, you rotten grass. How are we ever gonna put food on the table? Oh gee. Nice job, bud. Now this is actually kind of interesting, so I'm going to let everybody know, if you come back in maybe 1,000 years, you can actually find some petrified wood. Look at that log. Now, how long has it been buried up in this bank? You can see another piece. Well, that is the start of, for sure, petrified wood. And it's underneath all the soil. It's up on the bank. Heck almighty, if that thing's on the bank, oh, good 5 feet above me. But it's just showing, you can see some more protruding out. You can see this piece right here. You can see, look at the charcoaling. That's right here, charcoaling. Here's a piece of it just sitting right there. See, look at the charcoal around it. Was it fire that created that? But you can see, oh, look at this big piece here. Well, there it is. And a lot of you know that maybe this is rudimentary to you, but it's neat to see. This is like, this is forming, trying its best through the course of time. If it's got the right minerals, it's got the void. And cell by cell, it gets replaced and turns into fossilized wood. Agatized, mimicked, petrified. Well, as you can see, these little trinkets, these little tracers, that's right there. It's mostly a calcite or a calcidium of some kind, conglomerate. It could be quartz. You can see this place tries. Now, there are so many tributaries, so much country. You can see we're in the volcanic, the tuff. There it is. Okay, well, through the course of the evolution, remember that old term, petrified clay? I don't see it. But if I do come across an area with these tributaries that truly looks like it has the same material, well, I think a person better spend a little time and look. We are thrashing along, and Noel, he's catching fish. So, but Mr. Old Castor canadensis, the beaver, he's just showing himself everywhere we go. But let's see if Noel can. There's some big old nice boulders right here in front of us. Let's see if he can pop a fish out of there. Now, I would have never have recognized this until, but that is got to be a piece of porcelainite. Right here, I can see it. Let's get that wet. That is a piece of porcelainite. Interesting. Nothing over to write home about, but I seen it, and I could tell that how it was sitting there. I used to think that was a jasper. And on that episode right there, I discover a large deposit of porcelainite. So, clugging along. Camera's still alive. Lost my rock hammer, but I'll show you where it was at. I was going, oh man, I forgot my rock hammer. And old G was telling me that I might have to look at the footage to find where I put it at. And then I looked down, and it was sitting in my pocket. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Don't haul me off yet. I'm not dead. That kind of shakes you, like, forgot that I put it in my pocket. I thought I'd film Old G for a second because we might have live footage of a train wreck. He's a little tight to the upper portion of that hole. He made her across. I'm so glad he made it across. Well, the incompetent one called me across the river, but he's got a couple of samples of some jasper. Nice specimens. That one right there. Organically rock tumbled. With that yellow one right there. Still the elusive banded obsidian is hiding from me. Where shall she be? Maybe we'll find something really good that we're not even foreseeing. Now we're sure not breathing. Still not sweating. Interesting. But here's a little... Don't underestimate this place. Even if I can't get it to purge. It's a nice little pile of quartz. Just sitting there, a little gemstone sitting there. And you see this little oddity. Looks like it's got some, it's an aggregate of some kind. You can see the calcinium within it. You see that flake. Look at that big flake. And I can't tell if it's just, it looks different than just quartz. Could be just quartz. But you can actually see like almost little mossing and so forth. Dendrites. You see it right there. Look at that. It's an interesting looking dendrite formation right there. It is not necessarily my bag of tea, but it could definitely be somebody's bag of tea. So we got a nice little shallow shoal here. Let's see what we can find. A little mossy, but not bad. So what I've seen so far is if you're into rock tumbling, it's actually a great place to go and pick you up some trinkets of different materials. They could actually tumble very well. You got all sorts of different colors and things of that nature that's just sitting there at your disposal. A lot of banded, interesting material, except for, gosh dang it, my banded obsidian.
Read.
Now here's this one. And now this one comes right out of Winston's nest. And we were doing everything we could to try to avoid fractures. and we made an angler cut. Well, that's what it turned into. As you can see, we'll look at them one piece at a time. You can see that there's quite a few little hairline, little fractures in that. So, you know, as far as sheer beauty, it's lagging a little bit. But that's the thing. When you're doing this, and people have been watching rock hounding shows and lapidary, there's no guarantees. It's cracking open eggs. You're hoping and doing everything you can to find the very special treasure within treasure. And here's the mother. It's a lot larger piece. Possibly these could be recut. But right now you wouldn't be preserving that much material because it's an almost, but it's not anything great. Excuse me, I have a great tumbler. It's an industrial type tumbler, but that's just not my bag of tea. I don't enjoy that. I've tried. I tried to enjoy it, and it really just tests my patience. I'm a little bit more OCD and like to get her done and see what's going on and stuff. I can't spend weeks and weeks and weeks. Hats off to the people who can. And it's an interesting gift at the end if you're rewarded. I was raised fly fishing with my father, following the salmon fly hatch. We call it a trout fly hatch, and it all depended on the water temperature and these different systems like the Madison, the Big Hole River, the South Fork, the North Fork of the Snake. All the above would generally have. We just caught one on candid camera. Old Noel, he just hooked up. But his bud told him that this run that those guys didn't recognize as having the fish in it. Well, guess what? Well, he just had one on and got off, and now he's got another one on. And we're fishing behind two different individuals fishing. And I told him, but he don't believe me. I think he believes me. Sometimes when you got a little time on the water, what is that, a little cutthroat or a brown, bud?
That's a cutthroat.
Cutthroat? Well, I'll hurry up and run up there. We'll see what he's got here. He's caught several fish. He's having a good time. There's quite a few suckers floating. Oh, easy. Catch and release softly.
I'm trying, but I'm trying.
There's his cutthroat. All right, slap that baby. There's a dead sucker, but here goes Mr. Cuddy. And I'll bet you money he pulls some more out of there because it doesn't look like anything. But it's a run. And those fish, it's got just big enough boulders that it's really hard to see them. And those two individuals went up here and disappeared and gave old Noel some virgin water. Rock hounding fishing outdoors. Noel's hooked up again. Giving him a tug. He believes he's bud when I said, oh, I know this one. That's number 3 in this spot. Another cutthroat?
Rainbow.
Oh, rainbow. All righty. Nice size to have fun. Good show, bud. Good show. Get him. Oh, fishing and hounding. There he's got him another one up there. See? We wouldn't go hungry. It's a privilege to being raised in the western state and having outdoor activities and being introduced to them at a young age. It helps out a lot in life. It makes you feel like you could survive. Being raised in the metropolitan area. He's over there cussing. Oh, gee. He's a competent fisherman. He's incompetent as could be with the rock hounding, but I'll film out there where he's casting so he can see it hook up. Oh, there we go. He's got fish on camera. There it is. Fishing and hounding. What species is that one, bud? Oh, he's got a Rocky Mountain whitefish. Now, it seems like Bud was burping and was talking about big whitefish in here too. Well, now he's caught one of them. Ain't that right, Bud?
Yes, sir.
Hey, hopefully you're having fun, because we are not a whole lot of hounding right now. We're doing a whole bunch of fishing and having a great time. Good friendship time. We had camera call. Old G saying it's a good fish. I can see his rod bit like no other. Fishing and rock hounding. Rock hounding and fishing. I don't know what we're doing. He's photo calling. We're searching for Walter. Ah, big old nice cutty.
I don't think I got you. Ow.
They try to have the last revenge. Mr. Cuddy, there he is. Nice job, bud. Fishing and rock hounding. Hey, I don't know if it competes with the Castle or the Chalice Volcanics, but it's pretty nice on a hot August day, though. I'll tell you that, ain't that right, bud? Nice cutthroat. Get on over here. Perfect. Hooked right in the mouth. This unhook old cut. No. Perfect hook. Get him released. There he goes. Fishing and rock hounding. As you can see, we're clugging along. We got a headwind. Old G's wanting me to paddle, and I'm going to be just like Tommy Boy. I'm just camped out here. Alrighty. Well, hopefully you've enjoyed this adventure. Take care.